Want to hear something good?
Want to hear something good?
That's good.
I gotta tell you about this good thing.
Did you hear about that program? It's good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
What's good?
What's good?
Did you hear what's good?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill? I'm your host, Michelle.
And I'm Heather.
And joining us today is Bryan. Hello, Bryan.
Good morning.
Happy June.
Happy June. Been a long time coming.
So it is summertime. I don't know if you guys could tell. We went from like having cool mornings to now suddenly we're like spiking
A little bit warmer.
in the 80s. It's that terrible period of time where like you dress because it's kind of cool in the morning and like midday you're like peeling off the layers.
I'm just ready for the sun to come out and have some of that, vitamin D that I don't have to take in a little pill form and some sunshine.
I don't care how cold it is or how hot it is if the sun's out.
I agree.
We just have a bunch of lizards here. Goodwill just shuts down. It's like, where is everybody? Everybody's like a fire lizard just on a rock or something, like Z-Rex just stretched out, being like, the sun is here.
Yeah, I love the snow, right? But I don't realize until it gets to roundabout February how ready I am to see the sun and how much of an impact that makes on my mental health and well-being of going, oh, yay, I feel happy the sun's out. It's so good.
I think we live pretty far north, and people in the southern parts of the United States don't have an idea. Like, we know that Alaska has that crazy,
right.
like summer, midnight, the sun's still up type of thing. But no, we go through a dark period.
We do, and I think, and I've lived in the Northwest my entire life, and didn't, as I've gotten older in my life, realizing how much that's seasonal. It does play an impact on us. So yay, June.
Do you know what also plays a huge impact on us? Bet you can't guess. No guesses? We are now operating at summer hours.
Yay! More thrifting. Yay!
Every location is now open from 9 to 8, Monday through Saturday, and on Sundays it's 9 to 7, except for two
of our locations.
So our Colville store, Monday through Sunday, it's 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then our Pullman donation trailer, which is only a donation trailer, is open from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Yes, and our Moscow store also has their hours are the same 7 days a week.
Speaking of summer hours, more time and shopping, Heather, can you give us a little teaser about what might be opening next month?
Yeah, so we are so incredibly excited. Our Coeur d'Alene Goodwill store and our Workforce and Family Services office, we've been undergoing a huge remodel since about November of this last year. And so around about July 8th, we will be doing our big grand opening for our Coeur d'Alene store and our Workforce and Family Services office. So it's really exciting to see the changes happening over there. And we are incredibly excited to have a really revamped Workforce and Family Services office that has a exterior entrance for our community members coming in and some computers that will be available there for community members to come in and do some job search and just really amping up the visibility of our programs in the Coeur d'Alene community. So be on the lookout for our mailers and all of our advertising around that. But mark July 8th as the grand opening date and come on out to our Coeur d'Alene facility to celebrate with us the opening of that store. We've been in Coeur d'Alene for more than 30 years, and so it's really exciting to see that get done.
So we are also counting down the days. Bryan, I bet you didn't know this, but I don't know. You could be a big fan, and I just don't know. We are over halfway to Halloween.
Yay!
The look on Bryan's face, by the way, you were just kind of like, there was like a little trauma stare of like,
Really?
What's coming?
Right. So our team has honestly been working on Halloween since round about December. So by the time we get to Halloween itself, we're like, yay. We're done. And but we're really excited at this time in the year because we're halfway there. Lots going on.
If spooky is in your soul, if you are already planning your Halloween costume, please, I am metaphorically on my knees begging you, please send us pictures. We want to feature your costumes that you're making from items that you found at Goodwill.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great stuff coming in from community members and some influencers that we work with, and we know that a lot of you are heading out to Comic-Con this month. So, share your costumes with us. We've had so many of you reach out and tell us that you make your costumes from items you've found at Goodwill and other thrift stores, and even that you have salvaged from dying a horrible death at the landfill. So share those ideas with us.
I see you, Ghostbusters team. If you're listening, I know you got your items from Goodwill. And if you're still looking for your items, maybe you haven't gotten started, I'm going to tease right now at this moment. We like to party, and we like to party on a bus.
On a bus. Michelle, what are you talking about? Partying on a bus?
Party on a bus. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, July 1st, tickets go on sale. For our very first Goodwill Party Bus.
We are so excited. So August 17th, we are going to be celebrating National Thrift Shop Day with a thrift party bus. So the marketing team is going to be partying along with you and traveling to 3 of our Spokane locations. Check that out. Again, July 1st, tickets go on sale. Michelle, where can they find those ticket sales information?
On our website and in the good links down below. And joining us today, we kind of sort of introduced him, but I don't think we did a very good job. Joining us is a man who looks like he knows how to party, is Bryan.
I love to party.
Do you love to party? Were you like, get me on a party bus right
I'm
now?
so enthused to party.
So Bryan, what do you do at Goodwill?
I am the director of behavioral health and wellness.
Ooh. So what exactly is that?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Aren't we all?
The first component of what I do is to support the Good Life program, which is a resource for team members throughout the region, helping them with a variety of different challenges that they might face in their local communities in terms of advocacy, getting some legal questions answered. We've helped someone get his taxes caught up because he was a little bit behind.
Wow,
The
nice.
IRS was. Yeah, so we currently have 2 team member support specialists who are divided up our region and are making at least quarterly visits to each store and or WFS office. They're great. They know their jobs better than I know them, and so I just kind of try to stay out of their way as much as possible. Mm-hmm. I was brought on March of 2023 was when I started full time, and it really was to bring into this to what's already exists at Goodwill, a lot of the great programs. How do we meet people's needs maybe more proactively or more kind of where they're at? Goodwill has a long history in the retail thrift space and a long history in Spokane with supported employment and housing, but not always with a behavioral health perspective. And what I mean by that is, well, that in of itself has developed over the last couple of decades, in particular, that when we used to talk about health and wellness, it was sniffles, broken bones, scabs.
Ew.
Yeah. Maybe like a major surgery, and then slowly over time, the idea of like, well, what goes on between our ears maybe is a factor in our health and wellness. And so then mental health kind of entered the picture. And then, as I was saying, especially around the turn of the century, it's been sort of expanded to behavioral health, which includes the classic things you think about maybe when in terms of anxiety, depression, trauma, illnesses such as psychosis or schizophrenia. And then also blends in substance use disorders. There's, not surprisingly, there's a strong link between people who are dealing with any of the aforementioned kind of challenges in life, also are at a higher risk of having some concerns around misusing substances, legal or otherwise. And then most recently, it's been kind of integrating that as much as possible into this idea of kind of whole person-centered care. I come from the the therapy and treatment background, but it's now spread into all kinds of industries that where it used to be called treatment informed care, but that doesn't fit quite well for like a retail environment. But there's plenty of examples around the country and around the world that just realize that wellness is kind of a big kind of puzzle pie of different things, and trying to maintain things like sniffles and scrapes and bruises, and maintain things like depression, anxiety, but also just people's sense of how they're doing. And unfortunately, a lot of that has, with the pandemic, we saw a significant increase in mental health and behavioral health issues, kind of affecting. In the public health sector, there's a sense that when we talk about someone being well, we want them to be well all the way kind of around the block, not just in the ways that are obvious. And we realize that true wellness is when all of those spokes of the wheel are kind of coming together. And I think that fits really well naturally with Edgar Helms and Goodwill, and how we all, one way or another, ended up, part of the Goodwill family is just realizing that there's more to people's story, and when we take some time to sort of pay attention to that, and it's a tough balance. If we can help what it feels like to kind of live on this earth and work for this company, then benefit, and Goodwill knows that in its core, that people are people who have a story, and whether that's a customer, whether that's a team member, whether that's a participant. And so I'm looking for opportunities to continue to figure out how to add to our understanding of how someone is where they are, rather than in general. There's a lot more information rather than in looking at what someone's doing and questioning, like, why are you doing that? Like asking the question, like, what's happening? What's going on? How did you get to this place? And people being seen as having inherent dignity and value, regardless of where they kind of fall in the social strata. That's really a very Goodwill type of vibe.
I heard, maybe Heather, you want to talk about it a little bit? The Employee Assistance Program is EAP?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we organizationally, exactly what Bryan said, the inherent dignity of individuals, that is who Goodwill is at the core, and that's one of our values, right? And so when we talk about our organizational mission statement, right, so we talk about together, we create opportunities that change lives and strengthen communities. Okay, so what does that mean, right? So we have all these programs that assist our community members with employment and training and housing and all of that. And all of those things really do create change in our community. And we also have over 800 employees who work throughout Eastern Washington and North Idaho. And they all have a story, and they are also part of our communities. And so as organizationally over the years, I've been here 11 years, so as we have continued to look over the last 11 years about our employees, and many of our employees in various programs, whether they're working in retail or workforce and family services or transportation or e-commerce or marketing or accounting, all the different programs or departments that we have team members who are also facing some of the same struggles as people that we are serving through our programs. And as we're looking at how can we help take care of our team members, our employees, as well as our participants. And so the organization has started to continue to look for ways that as a nonprofit, we can add some of those benefits to take care of our employees that we know other larger organizations have the funds to do. And so taking a look at things like adding to our medical health benefits and bringing in and Bryan to start this behavioral health program and really provide some excellent leadership for the Good Life program, serving our team members. And then having conversations as Bryan's looking with his team at things that we know that some of our employees are dealing with, looking at what are some other resources we can provide. So that resulted then, I think, from Bryan's conversation with Rebecca, who is our CFO, talking with our benefits administrator and finding this employee assistance program that's called Support Link that is available to all of our team members and their immediate family members at no cost, even for employees who are not signed up for our employee medical benefits program. And so the Support Link program has a wide array of resources for our team members that they can access, and it really is a benefit to them. I mean, just looking through and going through some of the videos and the tutorials, I mean, I could spend all sorts of time looking at this Support Link program has so many benefits, but I'm going to let Bryan talk a little bit about maybe some of the highlights that he has seen as he's looked through Support Link and as we're training our team members on what they can access through that program as just one added benefit that Goodwill is paying for to support our employees.
Yeah, Support Link is really sort of blew my socks off. It's an impressive package. So from the very start, the thing that gives me a sense of peace is that 24/7, 365, there is someone who is going to answer a phone call for if you're going through whatever it is. It could be a broken pipe.
Don't tell me that.
Or it could be, I'm not okay. And there are some virtual or telehealth visits that are part of the program that you get free of charge, and they're fully confidential. So as someone with a therapeutic counseling background, I'm like, well, that's great. There's a lot of people who can benefit from hearing those pieces of the story. There's also just going back to the idea of like wellness is more than just one thing. It's like, how is life going overall? And so I, as I head into old age here, like I know
what are
there's
you, a
going
baby? 20?
Well, there's going to be people who really understand and maximize Support Link better than I have already. But there's a QR code, there's a website, there's a phone number.
There's a nifty little app.
There's an app. Yeah. So one of, if you just want to call up, like, my mom would probably prefer that she gets dial on 188 number. And so my mom would be able to do that. Or having an app. There's exercises on there like to help you time your breathing. That seems like something that's such a sometimes I think, oh, we all know how to breathe. No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. I had somebody tell me yesterday, you look like you're holding your breath. Are you stressed? Apparently.
Yeah. No, we breathe. Like, thankfully, our body will make us breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we're breathing well. And so there's just little like visuals. But there's a retail component to Support Link where Support Link has partnered with 30 to 40 different retailers around the country, where you can, you get some membership benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Some discounts, and you get to be part of the Cool Kids Club.
Well, we all know, I think knowing we're all in a time period where the economy is a struggle for everybody, and some people are feeling the strain more than others. So even having those resources available is a benefit to employees. And if I'm remembering correctly, there's even a financial wellness, component to it, which is, so fantastic for helping people, because honestly, some people were never, some of us didn't have to take personal finance in high school, and for some of us that did, maybe it didn't stick. And so even those pieces. And so really, it's great to have this resource available that's at people's fingertips in a variety of different ways to help with overall wellness throughout so many different aspects of their lives, which really I think helps improve things for our team members because we all bring stuff to work too, right? And so it just, helps people be well at work and be well at home. And for some people, they may not want to let a coworker or they may not want their boss to know, hey, I'm not doing well. And so this is an added benefit to our team members to be able to have at their fingertips this access to overall wellness. And this is something that is so important to Goodwill to make sure that we are also caring for our team members who are caring for the community in every position here at Goodwill. It's not just people who are working on our mission services side, workforce and family services. Every single team member, we call our employees team members. We're one big team and we are Goodwill, that everybody is serving the community, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes our own personal lives are hard too. So having that resource, and one of the things, when we received that very generous and wonderful Mackenzie Scott gift, we put some parameters, our board did, around investing that so we could use those funds in perpetuity for many, many years to come. And one of the things that we immediately started talking about was how we could bring behavioral health and wellness to what we're providing here at Goodwill. So it's been a great benefit.
So I know, speaking of health and wellness, we have a success story about a Goodwill team member that just so happened to find health and wellness at Goodwill.
That's awesome. So do I get to read this one?
You get to read the success story.
Yay. This is a favorite part of my job, and why, even on the hard days, this makes it worth it, what we're doing to help change people's lives and make an impact. So Sarah's journey with Goodwill really began when she was in high school. She started working at Goodwill up in our Ponderay area, and she found herself really drawn to the atmosphere that Goodwill offered, and she said it just felt like the right fit for her, and that Goodwill wasn't just a job, but it really became a part of her life. And then so much so that when Sarah moved to Moscow later on, so Moscow, Idaho, not Moscow, Russia, people get those mixed up. But when she moved to Moscow, she again joined the Goodwill team there at our store in 2016. And 20 years later now, well, almost 20 years later.
It's pretty unbelievable. I can't believe Sarah's been there.
Right? So, so she started with us prior to 2000. And so she's been with us for 20 years now, and she still stays with us, and she just says that Goodwill has been a huge influence on who she is today. And so getting to talk to Sarah's family, her sister said that Goodwill has given Sarah a reason to get up in the morning, and that working at Goodwill makes her really happy. And before she joined the team at Goodwill, she was struggling with depression and just finding some direction in her life, and having that family of coworkers come around her, because we do find that many of our facilities, they are family to each other, and it's really amazing to walk into a facility and listen to how they talk to each other and how they treat each other in a good way, like family.
Each of the stores, it's like their own little, just,
love it.
It's their own community. It's their own culture of who their store is.
Yep. Sarah, Goodwill helped her find some independence and really a sense of purpose. And when Sarah gets that paycheck, every couple of weeks, she feels really proud. Her coworkers say that she looks at it carefully and then just smiles, and see how much she earned makes her feel like she accomplished something big. And she says, I did that, right? The joy of having that paycheck, and that she's worked for that and she's brought that in, really gives her a lot of pride. And then, so besides working at Goodwill, Sarah also spends time at Opportunities Unlimited Incorporated, and there she just really participates in activities, and it gives her a social outlet to interact with other people. And she lives semi-independently with roommates And she has household responsibilities where she lives, like vacuuming and shopping, and neither one of those are favorites.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Favorites of mine, not
favorites
so
of
much. And she, takes the bus by herself to get to and from their programs and shopping and all the things that she wants to participate in, and that she is able to do all of that independently, and how much pride that gives her. That she loves spending time with her family, and they go to church together every Sunday and celebrate on special occasions. She has fun watching movies and reading and writing and coloring, which we love. So many of our facilities now have coloring sheets in our break rooms, which is so therapeutic. I love that. But what she loves most is food. Many of our facilities love having team potlucks. And Sarah at one time realized that she needed to take better care of her health, and so her sister helped her, and they made some changes to how she was eating and her lifestyle, and the efforts really paid off, and she really lost quite a bit of weight and just really improved her medical health along with the mental health that goes along with that. And then she says now she enjoys eating food in a healthy way. And every day at Goodwill is a good day for Sarah. She feels proud of what she does there. And her story teaches us that finding something we love to do can really make a big difference in our lives. So, Sarah, thank you for sharing your story with us. We appreciate it.
And that's pretty good.
That's very good.
Bryan, we'd like to thank you for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Or drag Bryan onto more episodes later down the road.
Oh, this is how it starts. Huh?
This is how it starts, please.
We're in a room that you can't get out of. It's locked.
It is
trying
locked
to come
room.
in. So
Tell my family I love them.
Bryan loves you. We promise to take good care of him.
Hey, if you're hearing this message, you've listened to our new episode all the way to the end, and for that, thank you.
And don't forget to keep up with What's Good by following us on social media. On Facebook at INW Goodwill, Instagram at Goodwill_INW, Twitter at Goodwill INW, and TikTok at Goodwill INW.
Hey guys, why do dads take an extra pair of socks when they play golf?
I don't know, Bryan. Why do they?
Why?
In case they get a hole in one.
Oh!